Daily life number 2, day 2 of today. So I choose the time. So before we were doing at 10 a.m. Amsterdam time. Now we're going to do it at 4 p.m. Amsterdam time. So that Americans and UAE can participate. So today we are going to discuss why is it important to be visible online for architects and real estate developers. If you are connected, just comment. And if you want to ask any question at any moment, do feel free to comment as well and ask it directly. So the first thing that I would like to do is to thank you all for participating to the poll this morning, because I put up a poll to see who thinks that visibility online is a must in order to trigger opportunities and get clients. So if you haven't done it yet, please go to vote on the last post. And then, so I wanted to start with why is it so important to be visible online? So the first step and the first reason is really about being able to communicate the why, the how, and the what of your company. So as probably you know, like a lot of people have their brands and have their LinkedIn profile or Instagram profile. But most people don't know what you do and what services you are providing and why you are different than your competitors. So the first important thing that is useful to do online is to really communicate your brand, your services, and why you're doing what you're doing, simply so that people, if they ever need anyone to help you with that, they know where to go and where to find you. And that is something extremely important. The second thing that I wanted to mention is also about growing a network in order to generate opportunities. So the more you are visible online, the more you will be able to grow organically a network of potential leads, but also partners. So what is the difference between the two? Potential lead is really a direct client. So you can start by adding people or making posts that target specific potential clients that you see that you could attract, right? So it is very important to make a list of all the issues that these clients may have and that you could solve with your services, and make posts about it, videos about it, articles about it, and encourage your network to react on it, so you can see at that point who is a potential client. What I mean with partnerships and indirect leads, those will be people that can introduce you to clients. So whether, if you're an architect, for instance, your best partners will be engineers or other co-architects, some interior designers that you can partner up with in order to be stronger out there and grow your network. So it is extremely important to be visible online in order to have a network of people. And then from that point, you can start triggering meetings in order to pitch and see if you can collaborate together. So that's also very important. And finally, it's also about showing your authenticity and credibility. What do I mean by that? The more you're out there, the more you have a marketing strategy that is concise, the more people can feel reassured that you are a company that delivers the services in the right way. So whether you are big or a small company, the more you are out there, the more people will start building confidence with your brand and with your company, will be able to reach out to ask questions, will be able to see the results, whether it's your references or some achievements that you've made. And the more you do that, the more people are gonna really believe in you and really go towards you compared to your competitors. So that's extremely important. Now, I cannot talk about online visibility without talking about the difference between a company brand and a personal brand, right? So those are two separate things. So the company brand helps people to understand your why, your how, and your what. So really what you do, what problem do you solve, how do you go about it in order to solve it. And it helps to build a credibility and a reputation for your company. Whereas the personal branding is more what's gonna bring clients towards you. Because even though the company is really out there online, people like to touch base with a person, with a human, right? So for instance, for me, if I take my example, the IBD Hub is my company. We do a lot of branding for that. A lot of people know what we do, which is learn how to grow your architecture and real estate company. But I also have a personal branding, and my staff has a personal branding in order to attract clients, right? So my personal branding is creating my own post about my own experience and what brought me to doing this today and how I help people today. My perspective is, of course, different than other people of my staff, right? They might see it from a different point of view. But the personal branding helps people to connect, because in order to do business, you can have the most pretty website in the world and shows a lot of results, but if people cannot connect to a person, ask questions, and really want to work with that person, very often it doesn't click, it doesn't work. In my first experience as an entrepreneur, when we started the IBD in the first place, we were advertising the IBD at the time in 2018 as a very corporate company, because we wanted to aim for corporates. And what that did is, like, 3 months down the line, we were like, okay, like, there is no clients coming, like what is the problem? And it's because we were so corporate that we were intimidating people, and therefore we had to change strategy and rebrand ourselves and reconnect with the actual clients and go for a company brand and a personal brand as well. So if you are starting your business, or if you are starting to hire people, I would definitely have both company brand and personal brand. As the founder, and if you're hiring business development people or you have partners, everyone should have a personal brand within the company. And that's also what Kay from Big was saying last week with the interview, is that every single member of his team are able to pitch and to represent the company from their own personal experience, right? So someone that is a big specialist within the company will have a personal branding of their own, but they showcase their expertise and why this is important within their company. So they have a different point of view than maybe the founder or other partners, but it still attracts clients and partners, which is super important. So the company brand is great. A lot of people think that this is the base And it is extremely important, but the personal branding is also important. Now, how can you create a personal branding of your own? On LinkedIn, a company page is less important than the personal page. The personal page is 10 times more powerful than the company page, right? So that's a lot of different. So I would definitely encourage you to post regularly about topics that are related to the clients that you are trying to attract. So, for instance, if you're an architect and every day you deal with clients that have complexity problems or planning application problems, you want to make a post about that issue that the client had and how did you go about it in order to solve it in your own personal way. Now, your perspective might be different than your colleague's perspective, but the idea is to really give your professional expertise and showcase it through posts, article, videos, and that will automatically attract attention and collaboration. Now, I'm saying this as a company perspective, but of course, a personal brand is extremely important also if you're looking for a job, for instance. It is extremely important to make some posts about your expertise, make some posts about things that happened to you in the project and how did you solve it, so that people can start knowing you, knowing your values, know what you do and what you're interested in. So you will automatically attract people. And finally, it's about consistency, right? So the more posts you make, no matter the platform, the more people will see it. Therefore, you will have more inbound emails and people wanting to connect with you. So if you think about it, if you post once a week, at the end of the year, you will have 54 posts, right? And those posts might be seen like 100 times each, right? So that's 540 people, watching what you're doing. And from that amount of people, you might get like 20 or 30 potential clients, right? Now, if you double that, if you do 2 posts a week, for instance, or you post every day, that means that percentage-wise, you will automatically get more potential leads. Now, I'm not great at math, right? So I'll let you do the math. But if you want to grow exponentially, you really need to have this consistency. Now, according to the algorithm, whether it's on Instagram or LinkedIn or whichever platform you decide to do, always start with a minimum of days. So you can start once a day or 3 times a week. Sorry, once a week or 3 times a week if you don't think you can do it every day. And then from that point, you grow upwards. But the worst thing to do is to start with posting every day and then have it decreasing. So, because then the algorithm will think, okay, this person is not serious and so on. So definitely try your best to start small and grow from a month to the other. So first month you start once a week, then you go to 3 times a week, then you go to one post per day and so on, so that your curve goes up, right? And how do you measure that? You measure it through the number of views per post and inbound emails that you receive. So that was a little bit what I wanted to share today. I also wanted to share that we have a new platform for networking where you're able to basically talk to each other and really have a conversation with other members of the IBT network. So I wanted to share quickly the invite for that. I don't know if I can do that. Yeah, I know it's a complicated one, but just get a screenshot and you can go on it later on. Otherwise, just DM me. I'll send you the invite. But basically, it is a network where you can meet all the people that have, gone through our program, and we give out some free content, and you will be aware of all the events that we do, etc., etc. So it is extremely important. Tomorrow we have a live, the weekly live for the IBD Hub podcast. So we are interviewing a TEDx speaker, which I'm super excited about. And then Thursday we are back on Clubhouse again with Business for Architects Club. Now Clubhouse is open to all Androids, which is super exciting. So if you want an invite, just DM me as well. And tomorrow we have a Clubhouse room. Sorry, Thursday we have a Clubhouse room at 7 p.m. Amsterdam time. So I'm looking forward to have you all there. I'm gonna try to keep it up. I hope that the internet was good for this live. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to change setup next time. But thank you for being here and listening. And I see you tomorrow for the live with the IBD Hub podcast.